All right, gang, welcome back to our Luxury Tax Challenge, and it is still September. We have 100% decided that we are going to be allowing more than one episode per month. Not something I normally do, but it seems like it was relatively a positive thing for most people. They thought that was okay for this series, especially given the size of what this series is going to turn into. So we are going to be doing that. So we'll have more than one episode per month. Now, it's not always going to be the case. There'll be certain months where, there's just not going to be a whole lot going on. So we absolutely will not. But we can also, flip to other months as we move along. Just I'm going to make sure that I keep it relatively reasonable, if that even makes sense. Now, I have the menu on right now because I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, right? I'm not really sure how this is going to work as far as loading bales up when they're all stacked up together. Now, they're probably going to be fine, honestly. There probably won't be a big issue, but I'm going to run 3 of them together, drop the 3 out, and then I'm going to probably have maybe just one drop out by itself, and then maybe run a bit of a test here before we finish doing the rest of this field. I know that seems a little weird, but I think that's what I'm going to do, just to see if I can well, quite frankly, test it out and see if it's going to work as I'm expecting or not. So we'll get one of them to pop out here, and I'm going to see if I can get the other one to unload. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. I'm missing bits here. I need to go back. I don't want to miss anything. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. So far, this series has kind of taken off like wildfire. Everyone seems to be enjoying it, so I appreciate all of you who have been watching it. And if you're new here, welcome. Let's see. Can I get this to unload? I gotta turn it off, and then can I get it to unload? Yes. Well, I'm gonna get 2 of them out of it, actually. But that's okay. I mean, I think 2's fine. I just think 3 together can sometimes be a little different. I bet it's gonna be fine, actually. The more I look at this, I think it's gonna be fine, gang. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. I think it's gonna be fine. So we'll just run it. We'll see what happens. I'm not even gonna go over there and get the bale wrapper. We're just gonna run it and see what we get into. Yeah, hopefully you're all doing well today, staying safe, all that good stuff. Things are good here. Still a very, very rainy day here, and looks like clouds are going to finally break through here in a little bit, and the rain will stop, or subside at least, for a little while, which is going to be nice. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, that menu. It's just a personal preference. I don't really like the menu up. I don't like a lot of things on the screen. I think takes away a little bit from the immersion of the game itself, having all those things on the screen. I know a lot of people it doesn't really bother them. It's just a me thing, honestly. So today we are going to get, obviously, the rest of this grass baled up here. Then we're going to wrap all of these bales. And then we're going to probably lease a bale picker or bale grabber or whatever, and kind of move the bales around, stack them up other places so we can, store them for the time being. I only have $25,000 right now. Honestly, I'd like to do some kind of a contract or 2 today, hopefully to make a little bit of money, because more than likely this is the last episode we will do in September, and it'll be October, so we're going to incur fees and things from the loan. So yeah, I'd like to do a couple of contracts to try to offset a little bit of that. I'd also like to... Look at this old man out here watching me. I didn't notice him until just now. That's funny. I'd also like to potentially see if we can find any kind of production for the straw. I don't know if we're going to have enough money to do it or not. I think it really is going to depend on what kind of contracts we get into and how much money we make off those contracts that we get into. But nonetheless, I would like to find something for the straw instead of just selling the straw outright. Now, I mentioned in the last episode, it might be a situation where we just kind of have to, and it very well could be the situation here where we're going to have to just kind of sell the straw for the first time because we just don't have enough money for everything else, and we don't really, or we can't really, afford to do anything else. But I'm hopeful that we'll be able to find something. And then whatever it is we spend on that, we have to remember that there's a 10% fee on that. If you don't know, if you just stumbled across this and don't know the rules or anything, they're all down in the description. But realistically, there's 3 objectives. But the main objective in regard to the Luxury Tax Challenge is, simply put, any big purchase we buy, whether it's a tractor or a field or a silo or a production or whatever it is, there's a 10% fee that is incurred to that. Now, that 10% fee, we have to kind of keep track of that ourselves. So whatever that 10% is, we have to spend that 10% amount from our own money and put it in towards creating a park. Now, that park is a field. Well, it's not. I guess it is kind of a field still. But anyway, it's a plot of land that's up the street on the other side of the town here. So a lot of people seem very, very interested in the challenge itself and how I came up with this challenge. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have more challenges than... you probably think I'm crazy. I have more challenges than a normal human being should have listed for myself to kind of work through. This is one that I just kind of came up with on a whim. I guess the reason why I said I came up with it on a whim is because locally here, the city it's not the city that I live in, but it's basically the city right next to the city that I live in. They just put in a park, and I started thinking to myself, how can I incorporate that into a farming challenge? Because I really like the park they put in. I think it's really cool. It's a very, very nice park. It's a small park. It's not as big as the one it's going to be here, but I started thinking to myself, how can I figure out a way to incorporate that? And then I started thinking, what if we put some kind of a tax? Because obviously the taxpayers of the city are paying for that park, right? So how can I incorporate some kind of a tax into the farming that would help pay for that park? And that's kind of where I came up with this, right? It literally just came out of my brain, gang. It's not... I've said this before in the past. I literally think of ideas all the time, and whenever I think of an idea, I just write it down, or type it down, whatever. And then I just let it sit there for a little while, and I let it stew for a little while, and maybe the more I think about it, the more it sounds like something good, and then we go from there, right? My members, they get access to anytime I'm working on a new series. They get access to kind of seeing what it's going to be and how I'm setting it up a lot of the times. It's not always, going to be that way. But, a lot of the times I'll think of an idea, write it down, and then I'll try to put it onto the game or try to incorporate it in the game somehow. A lot of the times it works perfectly fine. Other times, it doesn't. Like on paper, it seems like it's going to be a very, very easy and good challenge, and then you try to put it into the game, and it just doesn't work out properly. I don't really know how else to explain it besides that. It's just there's certain circumstances where on paper something seems like it's going to work out great, but then you get to the actual process of doing it, and it's just not working as you expected, whether it's a limitation of the game, a limitation of what's in the game, or just a limitation on you in general trying to get that to work properly, right? I would guess the closest thing I can compare it to, and it's really not even in the same ballpark, no pun intended, is if you're putting together some kind of a sporting team, whether it's a baseball team or a hockey team, whatever, right? On paper, you've got all these players, and you think this is going to be a fantastic team. They are going to work well together, and the chemistry just isn't there, right? It's kind of that type of situation, I guess, is how I would put it. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're moving along well here. We've got quite a number of bales here. Now, I do have the ability to make larger bales on this, but our bale wrapper can only do the size that we're doing right now. If I were to do any bigger than this, we would not be able to, well, quite frankly, we would not be able to wrap them. So we'd have to either get a different wrapper that can do it, or we would be screwed without having these bales be wrapped to turn into silage, right? But we're cruising along here, man. We are cruising along well. Really, I think I can just go up and down the rows one at a time. It's very difficult for me to keep it on the straight and narrow. The width of the windrower right now that we have is just not quite big enough for what we're mowing, so we really need to upgrade this. It's not a cheap upgrade, but we definitely need to do that. I think I talked about that already once before, but it is the truth, though. We do need to think about upgrading this here in the near future. Just to make all of the process faster, right? With the size of these fields, we really need to, think about things that are quicker to do, so it doesn't take me so long, and it's not such a long time lapse for all of you to watch. I know some people really like the time lapses. Some people don't. I get both sides. I do. Time lapses make it easier for us to be able to, accomplish more in an episode for all of you to watch. But I totally get the You know, the mindset of, you know, a time lapse can be too long. There can be too many time lapses. I totally get that. Totally get that. So my dad's been over at my house lately. He's been my parents are, well, my dad's retired now. Showing my age here. My dad's retired now. My mom's still working because I think my dad would drive my mom crazy. My dad was a semi truck driver for most of his life. Early life. I'm talking early life. I was like maybe 3-ish, 4. He was a farmer. He had a small farm. Then we moved closer to where my grandparents live, and that's close to where I live now. You know, and he did a couple other side jobs for a little while, and then became a semi truck driver at that point. But he worked on houses for a while, and he was a small farmer for a while. So, anyway, so he's building a patio for my wife and I, just a very small patio, nothing major. We're utilizing flagstone, which is going to be pretty cool. If you don't know what that is, it's basically rock. And so he's been at the house lately, and we're almost done with the patio, which is great. So we were in Vegas recently, like I mentioned to you, right? He was working on it a little bit while we were in Vegas. But yeah, we're getting close. I mean, it's a slow process, right? He's been working on it for a while. I mean, he's retired. He's getting up there in age. I don't want him working when it's 100 degrees or 90 degrees outside. You know, he's only working. I mean, well, he's a little stubborn, but he's only working whenever it's not too hot out, right? So, but we're getting close, man. So I'm pretty excited to have a patio because we don't have one. I think a lot of you know, I don't know, a while ago we moved into this house, which the house we had before that, it was just a slab. It didn't have a basement. This house has a basement, which is nice, but it didn't have a patio. So he was nice enough to offer to help put in a patio for us, so I don't have to pay as much for a patio, right? If I was to buy it from any company or anyone else for that matter, right, I'd have a whole lot of fees and things that are going to be incurring with that, right? I'd have to pay the individuals who are doing it, right? I don't really have to pay my dad. I mean, I'm definitely going to probably buy him a couple of things, certainly, but I don't really have to pay him, right? So overall, that's a much cheaper option for me. All right, let's unload this. Fold this up. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's not anything to do with this, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have a patio. It's going to be nice. It's just a small patio, not very, very big. It's not big at all. Enough for us to put our little outdoor dining set that we had in the old house. The old house had a patio. It was just a cement patio. Enough for us to put that because we brought it over here. Enough for us to put that out there, and then enough room for my grill, and that's it. Like, that's really it. There's, like, not any room for anything else. There's not room for a bunch of activities or anything like that. It's literally just that. So why am I telling you that? I don't know. I just guess I'm just excited about it. I don't know why I'm telling you that. I just like to ramble sometimes, and I was just rambling. So what's this farming? Let's get back to farming. I mean, I guess it kind of could be considered farming. I mean, you kind of, get stones out of the ground, right? And anyway. All right, so let's do a quick autosave. And we're going to see if we can lease. There's still those tractors out there, which are super nice, man. They're the articulate tractors, which I'm not that great at, but I would still love to have one of these. It would be fantastic. Maybe this Ford would be fantastic, but it's $70K. It's not cheap. Not cheap at all. But anyway. Okay, so we want to get a... Here we go. I guess we want this one. Maybe we want this one. This one's pretty sweet. $90K, though. Oof. 90K is so expensive. We're kind of utilizing some unrealistic things on the channel, but I don't really think I want to do auto-load trailers. I just... It seems too cheaty for the challenge. Maybe it isn't, but it just seems too cheaty. So 4,590, that's not terrible. It's not terrible. Custom bale support. That would be the one that we would need to get the larger one. So it doesn't really matter, but it's the same price, so it really doesn't make a difference, right? Okay, so we got that sorted out. So what do we have contract-wise? Let's look at that first. Cultivating, we don't have any of this stuff is the problem, right? So we'd have to lease this stuff, which is fine. I don't have a problem leasing anything, but... sorry, gang, hit the microphone. Spraying would be nice to do. This one right here, we should do this right now. Mowing, 10 grand to mow. That's easy. That's easy for us to do. Let's do that really quick. We'll get 10 grand out of it, and then we can lease one of the loaders, which basically this contract is going to pay for that and more. It's going to give us around $5,000 extra, which is good because I think the loan, the fees we're going to incur for the loan and the the land and everything else, I think it's going to cost. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's going to cost. I think it's going to cost around $2,500 to $3,000. I think every month. So it's not cheap, but it's reasonable, all things considered. I think. Actually, as a matter of fact, we could probably figure that out. If we go to finances, we scroll down here. Well, we're not going to be able to get it perfectly. So the loan interest is $1,666, but we have other fees and stuff that we incur as well, right? So $1,660. So yeah, it's probably about $2,000 or so bucks. So it's not terrible. Let's do this contract. Accept. I don't want to borrow anything. Just accept. And where are we going? It's all the way down on the bottom here. So I think I need to come out here, hang a right, and then a left at the second street that we come to. And then just kind of roll with it, and it should get us there. I'm going to get into first-person view here for a minute. We haven't really been in here yet. Our tractor is already extremely dirty. I mean, we haven't even been... I feel like we haven't... I guess we have, but I feel like we haven't even utilized it that much. But it is already extremely dirty. So is it this one? It's got to be this one, right? It's hard to see. Some of these don't really look like roads. They just look like tracks to me, but I think this is right. Yep, this is right. Okay. We get to see a little bit more of the map this way as well, so that's going to be nice, right? So let's get this done, gang. It shouldn't take too long. All right, well, we're nearly done here, and I actually like this area down here. Normally, I'm not huge on plots of land that are right next to the edge of the map. Just for whatever reason, I always end up getting issues with the edge of the map when I'm trying to do stuff, because I try to make the most out of the room that I have and put things too close to, the edge of the map and then have issues. But I didn't even realize there were 3 windmills down here either, I'm going to be honest with you all. I did not even know they were here. So that was different. Wasn't expecting to see that. But we are all done here, and yeah, that was pretty good, man. I like those windmills in the back right here. I like the 3 of them right here. I don't know if that's... Is that part of the land? I think that is part of the land that we bought. But then there's, yeah, you can just buy the windmills by themselves down here. Still, pretty cool, right? Those are pretty cool. 3 of them by themselves. All the other ones are all right next to each other, and there's, I don't know, like 30 of them, 25, 30 of them. There's a ton. Anyway, we're going to head on back here. And while we're doing that, we can go ahead and, hopefully, as long as I can keep this straight, turn in the contract here. Perfect. That's nice. A little $9,560 payday. We will take that every day of the week. So I'm going to take these back, I'll drop them off, and then I will meet you at the shop, and we'll pick up one of those Bale transporters, pickers, whatever you want to call them. Loaders, whatever. We'll pick up one of those on lease, because I don't think we can really, well, it's not even, I don't think. We can't afford one right now, so we'll pick one up on lease, and we'll take care of all our bales. After, obviously, we wrap the grass, but we're going to take care of the straw first. I want to get the straw out of the way. At least, well, you know what? Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't want to get the straw out of the way. If we're going to do a production, maybe we don't want to get the straw out of the way. All right, well, we're going to start with trying to wrap the grass bales. We don't quite have enough money for what I want to do with the straw. So I did look, and I guess I'm just, for some reason, I was thinking of FS22, but there is not, at least not currently, at the time of this recording, the mod for turning the straw into like straw hats and things like that. It's not out there. I thought it was, but evidently I was completely wrong. So is what it is. Not much I can do about it now. In any case, we need a little bit more. It's not a ton of money, but we need like another $2,000, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, something around that price range to be able to do it. So anyway, we'll have to hold off, I guess, for the time being, and maybe do another contract or whatever it may be, and hopefully we'll be able to get it at that point. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up all of these grass bales. There's a lot of grass bales. This is gonna take a while to do, but you know, it's a relatively quick process if you think about it, at least in a time-lapse perspective, which I know we just did quite a long time-lapse, but you know, it makes sense for us to, I think, do another time-lapse here as well to get these done, and I'm just causing mayhem with this bale here. Here we go. But yeah, we're able to kind of, you know, pull them apart one at a time. It's not perfect by any means, but we're able to do it. And then once these are all wrapped up, we can go ahead and lease the bale loader, right, and get all of the straw bales and this one loaded up. You know, realistically, we probably should think about doing another contract so that way we can, you know, put down the production, which is basically just a BGA, where we could turn the straw, you know, into methane and everything else, right? So we probably should look into doing that here soon, but for now, let's get these bales done, and we'll see where we're at. If we have to wait to do that to the next episode, we have to wait to do that to the next episode, right? It's not that big of a deal. We only have 2 fields right now anyway, right? So we don't have a whole lot to do here when the winter months come anyway. So if we have to wait till the next month, we have to wait till the next month, right? This is the second episode in September. As I mentioned, I don't want to do any more than 2 per month. I'm allowing us to do more than 1 per month, which is different from what I normally would do. So no more than 2 per month, but otherwise I think we're fine. So quite a lot of bales here we have to get through. It's going to take a bit. So time-lapse is the best way to do this. So let's get this done, and we will see where we are after that, and we'll make a decision on what we're going to do. All right, well, that is all done, wrapped up. I think what we're going to do here, gang, is make a slight change, a detour from what we had been talking about. We're really not going to have enough money, unfortunately, to be able to put down what I want to put down today. So we're going to hold off on doing that until the next episode. The straw can stay where it is. It's not really that big of a deal. The next episode, or the one after that, for sure, we are going to have to make some changes, or, well, I say changes, really. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with the straw, whether it's we go sell it directly or we do something else with it. We're going to have to figure that out in the next episode. But for this one, I think it's okay for us to leave it there for one more episode until October. We are going to, we're quite frankly, we're going to buy something, which is going to be pretty useful for us. We're going to buy a fertilizer spreader, which we need anyway. We're going to put fertilizer down on this grass field, right? We need that anyway. So we're going to buy a fertilizer spreader, and then we're going to proceed to do a fertilizing contract right now. Maybe we do all three. I don't know. It really depends on how long it takes. But there's some fertilizing contracts out there which are very lucrative right now. And because of that reason, I want to go ahead and do that. So we are going to head up to the shop. We're going to buy a fertilizer spreader. Now, the one we're going to buy, it's one I utilize relatively often. I'm not utilizing it in the Vintage Survival Challenge because obviously it's not old enough. We did utilize this one towards the tail end of the one tile challenge. I will admit that. The price is good. The width is good. It's a 28-meter width. It's $13,000. So that means we have $1,300 of that. Well, I guess of that. I say of that. I guess in addition to that we have to spend today on the park. And $1,300 is not a ton of money, right? More than likely, it's just going to help us maybe complete at least the initial portion of the parking lot. We don't have any lines or anything down yet, but might be able to allow us to do the rest of it. So we're going to buy this IMAK. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that first name, Bruta. We're going to buy this as a 27-meter width. It's pretty solid, 2,000-liter capacity, so it's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and buy that, 13 grand. And then we're going to buy some fertilizer for it, obviously. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to buy the solid fertilizer. I'm going to buy 2 of these. A little less than 2,000 bucks. So it's not cheap by any means. But I think it's okay. It's going to be worth it. And we are going to pick up some of these fertilizing contracts. So we are literally right across the street here for this one. So I feel like we should go ahead and start with this one, see how long it takes. And we might end up doing these as well because the price is just so good. And this is going to go away quickly, right? We only have a couple of months where we can do this kind of stuff. And then it's going to be gone, right? So let's do this first one. Let's see how much fertilizer it takes. Let's see how long it takes. And then we decide if we're going to do any more than that. I suspect we're going to do at least one more. Maybe both of them, though. Who knows? All right, so we are full. And that's literally right across the street from us. There's this field right here. It already has tram lines in it, which is kind of nice. I am going to turn on the steering assist so we can figure out where we're going here. And there we go. That's what we're looking for. And we are underway. We're probably just going to be following these tram lines, if I'm honest with you, for the most part. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be. Now, the tram lines are, I mean, they're kind of cool, but I really don't want to do tram lines, if at all possible, on this series. There's a couple reasons why I don't want to do tram lines. One, you lose a hell of a lot of your yield. A hell of a lot of your yield. I don't want to do that. But if we have to, we will certainly do so, especially here early on. There's a high chance, I think, that we may have to do tram lines. Don't want to, but there's a high chance that we might have to. So we'll see how it goes. 11 mile per hour is pretty decent as well. We're moving at a relatively high clip of rate here. Only 8%, well, I guess 9% almost at this point, but 8% through of the fertilizing. So there's still a lot to be had, a lot to be done here. But I mean, I want to, as much as possible, you know, utilize this and maybe do one more contract here before the end of the episode. But you know, it's not lost on me. We do have 2 time lapses that have already been done. It is much easier to do a time lapse when things like this are happening. So, you know, I don't want to do a ton of time lapses. I don't want to make anybody upset because I know some people don't like them. But let's carry on. I might just do a little bit of a jump cut here and see what happens. But let's carry on here and see how it goes. If we decide to do another one after this, then we absolutely probably will do a time lapse. But since we just did one, I think a jump cut makes a lot more sense. But we'll see. We're 17% through. 86% of the solid fertilizer has already been utilized, so it's quite a lot. So it's really a lot, actually. This field is a lot bigger than it may seem, right? When I looked at it, I was like, oh, that field's not too bad. But really, it's a lot bigger than you think it is. It really is. So, but this is good money, right? This is going to make us a ton of money. It's money that we absolutely desperately need. So let's get it done. And then we had to put $1,300 into the park to continue that progress, you know, for the challenge, right? So that's the main challenge itself is doing the park, right? So we've got other objectives we have to complete. Obviously, the windmill and paying off the loan and everything, and that's fine, right? That's great, but that's not the main objective of this series. The main objective of this series is to really get the loan going. So need a backup here. All right, off we go. I'll do a bit of a jump cut here. Let's see how long it takes us to get this done. It's going to take a while, but let's see how long it takes us to get this done. All right, we're still cruising along here. This is actually taking a very, very long time, so I do not think we're going to be doing much else than this one. We're 89% through. I have a slight concern that we're going to have to buy another pallet or bag, whatever, of solid fertilizer. I think there's a high probability that we're going to have to, unfortunately. Is what it is, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about it, but that's just how I feel. I feel like we're going to have to. Alright, so the rest of this we should already have. You just make sure, yep. So really it's just the stuff down here at the end over here that we have not done yet. I'm just going to do a quick autosave here. I'm going to look at the actual map itself, which is going to help me, you know, decide or show me what has and hasn't been fertilized. Somehow I missed it. It must be under precision farming then. Well, it's not really showing me anything. Yeah, without actually buying the information for the field itself, I think it's going to be very difficult for me to figure out what it needs and what it doesn't need. But you know, we'll figure it out as we move along here, I guess. I'm pretty positive it's just this section down here, and it'll get us to 100%. I don't think it's going to be too difficult to get there. But nonetheless, we've got to continue on here. We only have a 20% left of solid fertilizer. We're actually not moving up at all right here, so this makes me think we've already hit this. I think that's the biggest problem here with doing these contracts is not knowing where I have and haven't been due to the precision farming and not buying the information for the field itself. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. That is not what we wanted to do. I mean, I hope we get to where we need to be here by the end of this, because if we don't, we're going to be in trouble here, because this is an area I know for a fact that we didn't do, but I don't feel like this is enough to get us to where we need to be. I'm really concerned now. Uh-oh. I don't know where else I'm going to need to go here. I feel like I'm going to waste a ton of fertilizer trying to figure this out. Because that got us 1%. That ain't gonna cut it, right? That ain't gonna cut it. Oh boy. I don't know where it would have been that I've missed, and I don't know how to figure this out. This is the biggest problem with me not doing precision farming for a bit. Not understanding the menus. Okay, here, let's figure this out here. So crop types, growth. Okay, fine. Weeds need rolling watered. Precision farming. Seed rate, yield, nitrogen. Yeah, no soil, so... I mean, not owning this is really not helping me at all. 92%. Okay, so let's try to see if we can figure this out here. Not knowing where I've been is oof. We're definitely going to have to buy more fertilizer. I can already tell you that right now. Come on, 94%. Where are you at, 94%? It's not there. It's not there. We have 9% left here. We're gonna go for this. I think this is what we need right here. I think this is the path we need. Because we're kind of on the outside edge there, so I think this is the path that we didn't really hit. So far, it's looking like I'm correct on this statement. I probably need to turn around and hit more of it. Let's keep on this path here and see where it goes to. I believe this is what we need right here. I believe this is the path we missed. Because we are gaining in percentage here. Yep, this is it. That's 100% what we needed. Good. So we should be done here soon. I have a feeling we're going to need more fertilizer, unfortunately, as much as I didn't want it. I think we're going to. 58%. It's going to be really close. Okay, good. We got it. We got it. Whew, I was really concerned that we were going to have to buy more. Not that that's a problem, but I didn't really want to in this episode. So there we go. Got us back up to 34,511. We got a fertilizer spreader, which if you've been around for a while, you know that I actually do love doing the fertilizer. So that's nice that we have this now. We've got to go ahead and place $3,100 down on the park, because that's pretty much what it cost us, right? It was 13,000, I think, 100 or whatever it was. I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. Now I forget. I wrote it down. Hold on a second. Let me find my. I'm not 13,100. What am I? 13,100. It was $13,000. It's $1,300. I have it here on my phone. I basically calculate everything up that I buy on my phone. So $1,300. You know what? I'm just gonna pull over here to the side for now. I can take this back off camera. Let's head up to our park to be plot 58. $1,300 is what we got to spend here. So let's do that. We're going to continue what we've been doing. Not that exciting, I get that, but we're going to do it anyway. Is this the right thing? It is. Okay. We'll spend a little bit more than 1,300 actually. All right, there we go. I'll do one more. I'll do one more pass. Why not? Okay. 33,449. We spent well over $1,300 there. We still have this small amount here, and then I pretty much feel the parking lot's done. We might expand this a little bit more, as I mentioned, but not too much. Just a little bit more to give a little bit more room for the in and out area, you know, of the parking lot. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with the way it looks. And pretty happy with the way the episode ended up being. So we're going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like and subscribe button if you did. Both those things help me out an absolute ton. Thank you so much for my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. There is a link down below if you're interested in that. Early access to videos like this one, among numerous other perks. There's a Discord down there, completely free to join. Access to share your videos on my Discord if you want to. Try to get your videos out to more people. As well as you'll see any video that I share on either channel, whether it's this one or my second channel, or hopefully soon to be third channel. Any of those will be shared on there for you and for your viewing. But with that, we'll leave it here. Thanks so much for watching. The next episode, we're going to be able to take care of these bales. Hopefully, we have enough money to also be able to put down the BGA that I want to do to turn the straw into methane and a number of other things. Eventually that straw is going to be utilized for cows. Right now it's not going to be the case. We just don't have enough money and enough things to be able to, you know, manage and run the cows right now, but soon enough we will. So for now, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your continued support. It means the world. And yeah, we'll see you next time.